What I do is I'm able to express myself in visual images in narrative cinema. That's what I do. There are certain tools you use, and those tools become part of a vocabulary. Tracking in or out, panning left and right, the use of a close-up as opposed to a medium shot. How do you use all these elements to make an emotional and psychological point to an audience? To tell the story. My enjoyment is really shooting in New York. The sense of life in the city. Shooting in the streets, for me, is very special. But it's also part of who I am, where I'm from.
We should slate it, don't you think?
Rolling?
Okay, is that the light?
Where are you sitting? Down there? Why? Why is he down there?
He can do what he wants. Let him do what he wants.
Why are you so far from me?
I grew up in a very sequestered area. It was almost like a little Sicilian village on Elizabeth Street in New York. For me, that was the world. So it's something that I draw upon.
Oh, that's the flavor.
You were
Stir
saying?
that sauce. I want to stir the sauce.
You want to what?
Stir the sauce. How am I doing so far?
Terrific.
The idea of the sauce was important because the nature of the Italian-American, or in case Sicilians, on a Sunday afternoon, you had family dinner, and that all revolved around the sauce itself.
See, I was cooking dinner that night. I had to start braising the beef, pork butt, and veal shanks for the tomato sauce.
Take a few spoonfuls of tomato, throw them in here because your meatballs remain very soft.
People would come in, have something. No, I just ate. I can't. What do you got? No, I bring this in. I have. So it was a constant flurry of people. It's trying to harness these emotions.
Talk the way you're talking to me now. That's what I mean. You're not an actress.
I'm not putting on any airs. You're
Well,
looking
talk-
for a fight or something?
Talk the way you talk to me when you...
The energy of it, and put onto stories, narratives.
I'm gonna get hold of that dog, and I'm gonna eat him for lunch. You hear me, Larry? Larry!
Yes, there are certain worlds I know better than others. But ultimately, it's the people. It's the characters that carry me through.
Marty never is interested in the villain or the hero. He's interested in where most people are, which is in the middle.
He's always trying to grasp the humanity of these people, the flawed nature of these characters.
Sick man! Fuck you! I told you not taking my fucking kids.
You know, people always say, well, interested in the antagonist in my movies. Well, the point is that they're also human. The negative parts of who they are is also maybe something in us, and something not to be afraid of, but to explore.
The number one thing with any director, any good director, is you gotta make people feel that they can try anything. And Marty gets a certain spontaneity out of everybody.
We started doing the business with the gun, which is it, with scripted, which kind of, I got you.
I'm trying you.
And he suddenly got into a rhythm. Particularly, are you talking to me?
You talking to me? You talking to me?
And I remember saying that again.
You talking to me?
And I really knew he had something when he said, I know you're talking to me because I'm the only one here.
Well, I'm the only one here. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Oh, yeah? Huh? Okay. Huh?
The actor, of course. The actors have to be tapped into that emotion.
Smell a rat.
And the passion doesn't necessarily have to be explosive. And that's very interesting. Passion that's held back, that's restrained. Okay. Tension.
You got something you wanna ask me?
So you create the atmosphere.
It's funny, you know. It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy.
And you make it as easy as possible for them to take their time if they're onto something.
Maybe it's me, I'm a little fucked up, maybe. But I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Not just, you know how you tell a story. What?
No, I don't know. You said it. How do I know? You said I'm funny. How the fuck am I funny? What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
You motherfucker. I almost had him. You stuttering prick, yeah.
The key factor is to be authentic as much as possible to the characters and the world that they're in.
You know, he's very careful to make sure that it's believable. He was very obsessed about the collars that the mafia wear, where they're almost closed over the tie.
He tied my tie every day. The way he wanted the knot was very specific, and I guess from when he was growing up, and every day he would tie my tie and get the knot right.
I watched it, I said, ooh, I just gave it an authenticity to detail.
There's something about the way he connects you as an audience member and envelops you completely into another world that you become entranced by it.
I'm fascinated by what happens to groups of people stuck in a situation, oppressed politically, economically, and what form do they take? A gang is really, in a sense, like a tribe.
On my challenge!
Fighting becomes part of the culture. The violence itself is a matter of expression, and it's the way of life. And if it's the way of life for these people, you've got to be as truthful to that as possible. The violence in my films is not pleasant. It's not pleasant. Where I came from, although it was good, hardworking people trying to raise a family respectably, there was a lot of organized crime, and I saw a lot of violence where I grew up. I just saw it. It was part of me.
His mother has told me that if there was going to be a mafia killing on the street, the mothers would all be told, take your children off the street at 3 o'clock, and then they would all come in, and then somebody would be shot, and he would go back out to play again.
You reap what you sow in the stories I'm trying to tell. And I don't know any other way to show it.
When we were writing, there's that scene where Bob De Niro is standing at the bar with a cigarette, and he's looking at Manny, and he's going to kill him. And you know he's going to kill him. And as I'm typing that stuff, because I'm the typist, he says, put in cream, put in cream. I said, what cream? He says, just write down cream. Well, it turns out, while we're typing that scene, he's already listening to the music. So now, I can't interpret that. I can't tell you where that, it's all intuitive. It all happens in Marty's head.
It's getting near dawn. When lights close the tired eye.
FBI! Everybody sit down, put your hands where they can be seen, and shut up!
The music is always tied to camera shots for me.
Marty has a genius for putting music to film. He has carried around in his head for years pieces of music that he's wanted to use in a film and then eventually finds just the right spot for it.
Where you going?
Come on, Tom. The city's burning.
I've compiled music over the past 30, 35 years, and I may have 26 tapes from A to Z and 12 from the 1960s. I have 15 from the 50s alone, and a DAT tape, so there's like 44 songs in each tape. It's almost like dance, like choreography. It's the imagining of one shot being cut to the other and the emotional and psychological impact of that cut.
My director is a wonderful editing director. He edited several of his early films himself.
Let's see the head and tail and see which has the most movement.
And The Casino particularly is a film that Marty had thought out very carefully. All of his camera moves he had designed so they would cut together. They were very specific.
In Vegas, everybody's got to watch everybody else.
When he has the montage where he shows how everybody's watching everybody. He had already planned out how he was going to go from the box man to the dealer,
Watching the dealers.
to the pit boss. They were all swish pans, and all I had to do was cut off the end of it, stick it together, and it worked beautifully.
The shift bosses are watching the pit bosses. The casino manager is watching the shift bosses. I'm watching the casino manager, and the eye in the sky is watching us all.
I see things quickly, and I've tried to formulate it into a style.
Fairly well, and rock Jake LaMotta right to the field.
Come on, Ray.
How do you point the audience's eye to look where you want them to look and to get the point, the emotional and psychological point that you want to get across to them?
This is no ordinary place. It is a place where many roads and many lives intersect.
To make movies from where I came from is like saying you're going to the moon. You know, there was no such thing.
Our fathers and mothers, they were from a different world. They couldn't afford to send us to school. They didn't have that kind of money. As long as we ate and we were healthy, that's all that counted.
She was always telling me, you know, one thing goes wrong, the other thing will open up. Get over it, get going. There's another way. Always have that hope. So that was something that I always still hear in my head. One has to begin to reach younger people at an earlier age, how to use this very powerful tool, because we know film, the image can be so strong. A young person wants to express themselves and take a video camera and go out. They're going to find that they have to frame the image. They're going to find that they have to interpret what they want to say to an audience. They're going to have to make that decision.
that embracing of that inspiration again, that spirit. It still inspires me to try to continue working on pictures, try to make pictures.
What can I mine that is newer for me? What can I find that is worth me doing? I don't know yet. Because you never know what you're going to find.
Now that's enough for today, Marty.
Okay, that's it.
That's good.
I hope my sisters don't get. I hope my sisters don't get after me because I have 5 sisters. Is he still taking this? I'll murder you. You won't get out of this house alive.